Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, you'll meet the author of this book, The Winds of Change. She's going to teach us how to get through difficult times. Her incredible journey just ahead.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Well, let's face this, we're all climbing some kind of mountain, but occasionally you find yourself in the valley. Divorce, loss of a loved one, loss of a job. And unfortunately, too many people stay in the valley. They have self-pity, self-doubt. They're paralyzed by this fear that has been injected into their life. And our next guest is going to talk about how to climb that mountain again. Dr. Julie Shannon, author of The Winds of Change. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks, Jeff. I appreciate you having me. This is going to be really fun.
Absolutely. Well, we met just by happenstance yesterday,
Yes.
and your calendar allowed you to come on my show this morning, and I'm thrilled because I think, difficult times is something that everybody relates to. It doesn't matter if you're a billionaire and head of an industry. So what made you write the book?
Well, a lot of winds of change in my life, a lot of storms that can be really hard to overcome. I went through several years of infertility, and then I had to face a life of childlessness because I wasn't able to have children. Then I went through divorce, and then a tornado that literally hit. And then, as you know, the world shut down with our global virus that went on. And so it started me thinking, what do we do? How do we face these? How do we come through them in a general sense? Because that's when it struck me.
Yes.
We all have storms, every one of us. And if you're not in one now, you'll be in one at some point. Not to be fearful of that, but just to know, what can we do? How can we help ourselves ahead of time?
Sure.
How can we prepare? And then how can we walk through those and then get to the other side? Because one of my passions is, I don't want myself or people to get stuck.
Yes.
And that's so hard. It's okay to sit in it for a while, like with grief, hard things like that. And everyone has their own journey. That's so important to know. Everybody has their own journey. But we can also help ourselves come alongside each other.
Yes.
Know how to help each other and know how we can get healthy and get the help that we need and the tools that we need to move on through and move forward.
And you have a beautiful book cover. Let's go ahead and put that up full screen. This is available wherever you can get books. Tell us about the process of writing the book. How long did it take?
I wrote that book, probably all told, it was about 2.5 years. I wrote it and I was working on it, and then was invited to submit a book proposal to my publisher.
Wow.
And got a publishing deal. And then when you feel like you've written it and finished it, then the real work begins.
Yes.
Because of the editing and all of that. So it was a fun journey. And I love my publishing company. They're amazing people.
Well, let's give a shout out. Who's your publisher?
Morgan James Publishing.
Nice.
Grateful for all of you. And Karen Anderson, who works for them, she was my book coach that went through it.
So was it challenging? Because when you're writing a book, especially one where you're being vulnerable, you're having to decide, okay, do I tell this to the world or do I not tell this to the world? So when you came to that fork in the road, you always kind of veered to, why not? Let's let it fly.
That is true. I had to take a deep breath a few times. Mm-hmm. And there's a part in the book where I talk a little bit about my divorce so that I could reach out. My goal is to reach people where they are.
Yes.
In their storm, and they're walking through it. And I was encouraged, lovingly encouraged by Karen, who I mentioned before. She said there are women sitting out there, and men too, who are in that situation. And they need to know enough. You don't have to give all the details because that wouldn't be respectful.
Sure.
And of former spouse. But she said, we need to give enough to where they know that you know. Because when we know somebody's walked through something, then we feel like we're not alone.
Sure.
Even though it's a different situation.
What's been the reaction to the book so far?
Really positive. I've heard from people I don't know. I've heard from dear friends who've known me a long time who didn't even know all of my story. It's been very positive, and several people I know have actually used it in their book club.
Nice.
And studied. When you subscribe to my newsletter, you get a companion guide for free. It's a 10-page PDF, and I developed it to essentially walk the reader through the book with questions, interacting as much as that could be interactive. And so a lot of people are doing that, and I'm thrilled because I want to reach people and just let them know, here are some helpful things. And there are stories in the book from my podcast of other people talking about their storms, how they got through them, who helped them, and often, just as important, what didn't help them.
Yes. We're going to put up your website, and as we scroll down the website, it looks like you are very busy. You've got a lot going on. You got a podcast, you got a speaking career. Do you do some coaching and training?
I do.
Yeah.
It's been really fun. I've come full circle in my work and in my life. I started out, I think I shared with you, I majored in radio TV a while back. And I've always kind of had my toe in creativity in my world, but it's as if I've come full circle at a later age. That's the other inspiration I want to give people. It doesn't matter how old you are, do it.
Yes.
Whatever your dream is, go for it.
As I was preparing for this show, I found your YouTube channel, and you made a video 5 years ago. And as I was watching it, I said, "Man, this holds up." So let's go ahead and roll.
Yay.
Let's go ahead and roll the video.
I used to think that life was like one big mountain that we had to climb, and that was our one thing to conquer. My goal was to get to the top and then kind of go down the other side. But as I've gone along in life, I realized that we really live in mountain ranges. We have ups and downs, we have peaks, we have valleys, we have lush meadows and flowing streams. And then we have those times where maybe we get off in the brush a little bit. Sometimes those unknown paths are the ones that give us the best view. My goal, my dream is that we would find community, connection, and encouragement with one another.
Yeah, like I said, that was done 5 years ago. One, you never aged, so.
Oh my word, thank you.
But you point out that, we all have these valleys in life, and instead of like dreading the valley, just accept it's gonna come, right? So when you were in your valleys of infertility and divorce, how did you get out?
Oh my goodness. The biggest thing I can say about getting out is, first of all, recognizing that's where I was, and realizing that over time, maybe if you haven't been in a lot of valleys in your life yet, what you will find, the more valleys that you walk through, that's where some of the most amazing growth happens. And it doesn't make a lot of sense. But that's really, like, the mountaintops are amazing and you can see the views and it's beautiful. But the majority of our lives, we're going down into the valley or coming out of it.
Yes.
And really important is to have good community. It doesn't matter the size of your community, but have good community, people you trust who will speak truth into your life, mentors, friends, family, whatever that looks like for you. That's so important, is to have people walking with you. And one of my favorite things to teach people is let's say when I was going through infertility, here's an example. I had 3 really close friends. One of them had never been through infertility. One of them had been and had miscarriages, which is what I was going through. And the other one had already been through it. It was on the other side. So I had those 3 perspectives, and I didn't realize at the time how important those perspectives were, because they each contributed something different and helped me.
And maybe you can give some advice to people who have friends who are going through a valley, because I have a friend who told me, sometimes when I find myself in the bottom of the well, my friends are just shouting down, "Hey, get up! You're good. You're great." And she said, "Sometimes I just want people to get down in the bottom of the well and just sit with me."
Yes, yes. One of the things that I learn and I talk about is be willing to just go sit in that awkward place with someone, because our tendency is we want to fix it. We want to throw a cliche to that person.
Yes.
Instead of we can't fix it. There's nothing we can say that will make it better. But what we can do is just show up and sit there quietly, or just listen, be willing to listen and spend that time. Or helpful things that you know they need. My biggest piece of advice when someone's in a valley, don't pressure them and put the burden on them by saying, "Let me know what I can do."
Yes.
Or know that I'm here for you. Let me know what you need. That is not helpful because they're so overwhelmed.
Right.
So it's more of if you go grab coffee at your favorite coffee place and you're around the corner from them, text or call and say, "Hey, what can I get you? I want to come by and just say hi and sit with you."
Yeah.
Or I'll leave it by your front door if you're not up for visitors.
Nice.
And it just involves a lot of grace.
Sure.
Be willing to understand it's not a personal rejection if they don't want to talk. But just keep showing up. Text, "I'm thinking about you." No pressure to respond. I just want you to know.
That's really good advice. She's also a very popular speaker, and you speak all over the country. We've got some video, and I believe this was filmed in a church a few years ago. What kinds of audiences do you like to speak to?
Oh my word. Really anyone who wants to hear a message. I try to just give a message of hope. And the clip that you're showing, it was amazing because it was Mother's Day. And my pastor at the time said, "We need your perspective." Because Mother's Day is such a big deal, especially in the church.
Sure.
And that meant a lot to me. It felt like my losses were almost redeemed in a way. And I was able to talk about spiritual mentoring, and that's important in anybody's life. How do we walk together? How do we speak into each other's lives and invite others in?
Yes.
And be willing to be part of someone's life. So I've done women's retreats. I've been on a lay preaching team before. I will do any size group. I really love doing workshops for people on how can we walk with people through the hard times.
Yes.
Specifically, lots of specific issues, divorce, infertility, but other topics as well.
Let's talk about the importance of positive self-talk, because we all do this. You know, we beat ourselves up and we replay the tape 1,000 times.
Absolutely.
It wasn't the mean thing the person said to you. It's the fact that you replayed it about 10,000 times. So
Absolutely.
Talk about how do you avoid playing negative tapes?
We have to be intentional with ourselves, me included. I've been doing this week, actually. I said something the other day, and a friend of mine said, no, don't do the negative self-talk. And I went, oh, silly me, I was doing it. We have to disrupt it. Mm-hmm. And whether it's pick something up physically, I'm really big on pick up a book. There's something about that tangible action, not just get on and scroll. Because if we get on to read something, then we get distracted.
Right.
And then we go, oh, I need to look at this and this. Be very intentional on learn for you how to disrupt those thoughts. Know who you can call and say, hey, I'm really challenged. I'm having a lot of negativity inside right now, whether it's a therapist, a counselor, a friend, a mentor. Have those people in your back pocket and they do the same for you. Yes. They'll call you and say, hey, I'm struggling with this. Okay, let's talk about it. May I add one more thing?
Of course.
This is something that I use in workshops, especially if you're in the middle of something hard, and the dark of night is one of the toughest places to be, literally and figuratively. So when we wake up in the middle of the night and we cannot shut that down, it just spins and spins in the dark. Turn on a light, or I used to keep a little battery-operated candle on my night table, and I would turn that on just as a little bit of light to just, don't light a candle in the middle of the night, turn on the battery. And what I did for me, it was a particular scripture that I would get up and I would sit up in bed and make myself read it out loud to just disrupt. And then I could go peacefully back to sleep.
I love that. That's so important. Yeah, some people just, they lose sleep, and that
Yes.
creates a spiral effect because you don't get rest. And
Absolutely.
yeah. Let's talk about your podcast. We're going to put up your podcast page from your website on the screen, and I love the name. How long have you been doing it? What's the show about?
Well, I started The Bearing Life in 2020 during COVID, and I actually had several people who suggested to me, several younger people in my world, who they don't know each other, and they kept saying, you should do a podcast. And I kept saying, no, I don't want to do a podcast. Why do, anyway, long story short, I ended up deciding, okay, I'll try it. And one of my goals was to help people know how we can walk with others in all kinds of different times, whether it's joyful times, hard times, grief, anxiety. One of the reasons for that, when I did my focus groups for a project on infertility for my dissertation, I learned in those focus groups, and it was my experience too, the people closest to us are the ones that can hurt us the deepest without meaning to. And so I thought, we need to learn better ways to walk together.
Yes.
Because when we don't understand a situation, we can be well-meaning and still cause some pain. And so I have conversations with different people on my podcast about what they've been through, what helped them, what didn't. And the idea behind The Bearing Life is kind of a twist on, I couldn't bear children, and so how can I bear fruit?
Yes.
How do I bear my burdens? How do we bear our burdens together? And that was kind of the idea on the positive of bearing life together.
Sure. Let's talk about the power of forgiveness. I know that there are a lot of people watching this right now who are holding on to bitterness, and there's an old saying that this is a poison that you're drinking and the other person dies. Talk about how important it is to forgive.
It's hard. It's hard. And there are different layers of forgiveness. One of the biggest lessons for me is forgiving is not about the other person, because people can do awful things, and it's not saying what they did was okay. What it's doing is giving you freedom. Because if we continue to hold on to bitterness, and I've done that before, where you hold on to it and it does nothing to help you live your abundant life. Holding on to bitterness is very much like that. It's like you're drinking poison and you're harming yourself. And so however that can help you to walk through, not contact that person, forgiving them, you don't have to do that. It's about what's going on in you.
Sure.
And being willing to walk through it with someone. Sometimes, again, it helps for talk therapy to go or write it down for yourself and then tear it up. But understand, what is my bitterness? Where's my unforgiveness? Because that's what will harden your heart and keep you really in chains to the power of what that person did to you.
Wow. And Dr. Shannon, you're amazing. We could talk all day. We're almost out of time. So I want you to look into the camera on the left and talk to that person who's struggling right now and just needs some positivity.
Thank you. Thank you. I've so enjoyed being here.
Thank you.
And for you listening, whatever you're going through, I understand. It can be so, so difficult. And I'm even getting choked up because I feel for everybody who's walking through such a hard time. And in our world today, there are things going on that feel like they're just a burden and you cannot get through it, but you can. And it's up to you to seek out and find those resources and people who can walk well with you. And I want you to have hope that you are not alone. There is somebody out there walking through similar things. And a lot of people don't show it, and you might not know it, but I want to assure you, I've talked to enough people in life to know everybody has something. And in our social media world, it looks like they don't, but they do. So I want you to be encouraged, have hope, get out there and grab onto your life and find those tools and resources that will help you keep moving forward.
Wow, what a great way to end this show. And we're going to leave you with her website, which is drjulieshannon.com. Thank you so much for sharing your wisdom and your heart.
Oh my gosh, Jeff, I'm so glad to know you. Thanks for having me on the show.
You bet. That's it for now. We'll see you next time.